No, don't do that. I'm only in the waist, what do I know?
I'm the judge, she can do it. That's good. No problem. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I'm assuming that both parties are ready to proceed in the state of Florida versus Michael Dunn. Where is the state of Florida? This side represents the state. Are you guys ready to proceed with your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is the defense ready to proceed in the defense of Mr. Dunn? And who's playing the role of Michael Dunn?
Should I go sit with them?
If you like to.
That's
We're
okay.
gonna
No,
sit-
it's your chair.
It's okay.
No, take it.
Mr. Dunn, you
Take
can
it.
stay, Mr. Dunn, we'll bring the witness chair.
I'll just stay here.
At this time, if the state is ready to proceed with their opening remarks, you may.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are here today because Michael Dunn opened fire on a car full of unarmed teenagers, killing one. This is because the boys were listening to rap music that Dunn thought was too loud. He claims that Mr. Davis was pulling out a gun, so he panicked. He could have just drove away from the boys' car if he felt that threatened. Instead, he had to shoot 9 times directly at them. He also claims that Mr. Davis was trying to get out of his car to kill him, but Trevin Thompson swore that Mr. Davis's door never opened. And people connected to Jordan Davis, his friends, his family, and his parents, never get to see him again because of one man's careless actions. Michael Dunn is the reason that Jordan Davis isn't here with us today. Because of self-defense? I don't think so. And throughout this trial, you will hear that Michael Dunn shot those 9 bullets because he felt threatened. And the evidence that we will show you today does not comply with that excuse. Michael Dunn claims that he tried to scare off the boys. And does shooting the SUV full of 4 teenager boys aiming in the general area of where their chests would be sound like scaring them off? No, it is someone intentionally trying to get rid of some boys listening to music maybe too loud for his taste. And Michael Dunn succeeded. He killed a 17-year-old boy. And afterwards, he didn't even call the cops to inform them about what he had done. Instead, he made a phone call to the pizza guy, ordering himself a pizza. Michael Dunn put a stereotype on the group of boys. Maybe on their taste of music, or maybe even on the color of their skin. Michael Dunn overreacted and panicked. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hope you can make the right decision here today. Michael Dunn is a guilty man.
Defense.
Michael Dunn is supposedly being charged for a first-degree murder on Jordan Davis. This is 100% false. Michael Dunn is responsible, sophisticated type of man who is driving home from his son's wedding. After having a once-in-a-lifetime experience, Michael and his fiancée, Rhonda, decided to hit the road. On the way, Rhonda was in the mood for a little snack, so they stopped at a local gas station. Rhonda then went inside to buy her goodies. Sitting right next to Michael Dunn's car was Jordan Davis and his gangster crew. Jordan, at the time, was playing extremely loud music and was about to attempt to pick up chicks. Michael only asked them to turn down the ear-popping music. And Jordan then responded by dropping F-bombs, treating him with many gruesome threats and insults, and Michael claims that he even pulled out a 12-gauge or 20-gauge shotgun. Jordan then got out of his car, walked by Michael's car. At the moment, Michael Dunn had 2 choices: stay alive or die. So out of fear, he pulled out his gun, shot out a few shots to make Jordan and his gangster friends leave him alone, and after that horrible incident, Michael and Rhonda went back to their hotel in fear that those gangsters were going to come back and hurt them. In order to calm down his lover, who was scared out of her mind, Michael ordered a pizza. A few moments later, he saw on his phone that he had killed somebody. Michael then threw up in horror at the fact he killed a human being by accident. In fact, he felt so bad that he was stuck in the bathroom vomiting all night. But the gangsters at this time, they went to a nearby closet for 15 minutes without calling the police. During these time, these irresponsible teens could have done numerous things. For one, they could have hid all of their weapons in a concealed place. They could have come up with the same story. They could elaborate on the same story. But the whole time, they were away from the crime scene. They didn't call the cops. The driver, Tevin Thompson, is a felon. That means he's not allowed to have guns. And if he's caught with a gun, he'll go straight to jail. The teenagers next went back to the gas station, then went back to the gas station to ask for help. Michael, he didn't call the cops for the reason. He was going to plan on talking to his neighbor, who was in law enforcement, then notifying the local police. But he never got time to do that because he was arrested the next day. And at the crime scene, the gangsters were seen nervously talking on their phone and not speaking to the authorities, stashed some things in the car, and this man, he didn't kill the kids because of the color of the skin. He killed them because it was either life or death.
State, you may call your first witness.
The prosecution calls Sean Lee Atkin.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Please be seated.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
Hi, I'm Sean Atkins.
Where were you on November 23rd?
I was sitting at a gas station.
What did you see that night at the gas station?
I saw a red SUV and a Jetta.
Who was in the Jetta?
A man and a woman.
Who was in the SUV?
4 teenage boys.
Did you hear anything while you were there?
Yes, out of nowhere, I heard 2 gunshots go off. I soon realized that the man in the Jetta was shooting at the 4 teenagers.
How many gunshots ended up being fired?
9.
What did you do after the shooting?
I memorized the man's license plate.
Did you tell the police?
Of course. If I didn't, the man would have gotten away for shooting at 4 teenagers.
What did the man do after the shooting?
He drove away in his car.
Defense cross-examination.
When you saw Michael Dunn, you thought he looked like a responsible businessman, correct?
Yes.
You were shocked when you found out that the shots came from Michael's Jetta because you thought you heard them from Tevin's SUV, correct?
No, I heard them from Michael Dunn.
Do you remember writing a sworn statement that said you thought that they were coming from the Jetta?
Yeah, it came from the Jetta, which was Michael Dunn's car.
And you were shocked when you thought you heard, you were shocked when you found out that they came from the Jetta.
Yes.
You heard 2 shots that sounded like firecrackers, correct?
Yes.
Are you aware that there is an auto recording for the gas station and you can hear 10 individual shots?
No.
At the time of the shooting, you were homeless and living in a car with your girlfriend, correct?
Yes.
Shortly after the shooting, you were arrested for taking and selling gold, correct?
Yes.
You have been in jail for a few years now.
No, only a little, very short time.
And after this trial, you are heading straight to prison, correct?
Yes.
And you are very grateful to the police for letting you stay in jail, which is obviously nicer than prison, for 1 more month and a day.
Yes.
Your Honor,
State your next witness.
The state would like to call Officer Musser to the stand.
Raise your right hand, officer. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may be seated.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
I'm Officer Musser. I'm the lead homicide detective for the police department.
Did you investigate the crime scene?
Yes.
What did you see at the crime scene?
At the crime scene, I found a red Durango SUV which had many bullet holes in it.
Did you take a picture of the car?
I did.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Is this the photograph that you took?
Yes.
Okay. Judge State asks Exhibit B be marked.
First, show it to defense, see if they have any objections.
Are all the bullet holes in one location?
No.
Is there any reason for this?
The reason that they're not in one location is Michael Dunn was not only threatening one teenager, he was trying to kill all of them. Not self-defense.
Was there anything missing from the scene?
Yes, Michael Dunn, along with his Jetta, was missing.
Where did you find Dunn?
We found Michael Dunn at a hotel a day later.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Cross-examination defense.
You claim you searched the crime scene, correct?
Correct.
Are you aware that the kids left for 15 minutes and went 100 yards away at the other end of the plaza and stayed there for 15 minutes, which makes that another part of the crime scene?
I was aware after we did some more research.
Okay, and you didn't search it not 1 day later, 2 days later, 3 days later. You searched it 4 days after the crime scene.
Correct.
And you didn't find anything, right?
No.
Well, it wasn't cautioned off with caution tape, right?
No.
It wasn't roped off so no one could get there.
It was not roped up.
It was completely reachable for all the public to reach, correct?
Correct.
And after the shooting, you put all 3 boys together in one room, giving them enough time to put their story together and about hide the weapon and where they hid it and who they gave it to, correct?
Correct.
So after you separated them and interrogated them, they had identical stories, word for word, nothing changing, correct?
For the most part.
And you're aware that one of these boys is a felon, right? So he's on probation.
I'm aware.
So if he's found with any weapon whatsoever, he's going straight to jail.
Correct, but we never found him or any of the other boys with any weapons.
So they could have hid it in the place you didn't search for 4 days.
They could have, but what's the likelihood of a weapon getting hidden within 4 days?
Very, very good. Good job. Okay. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Okay. State any redirect?
Yes.
Did you have the car in storage?
I did.
Would anyone have any access to this car?
No.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
You may step down. State, call your final witness.
The prosecution would like to call Dr. Simmons to the stand.
Dr. Simmons, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may be seated.
Introduce yourself to the jury.
I'm Dr. Stacy Simmons.
What is your profession?
I took an autopsy of Jordan Davis's body after it was brought to me from the crime scene.
Did you determine how or why he died?
Yes, he got 3 bullets shot at him, 2 in his legs and 1 in his chest.
May I approach the witness?
You may.
I am showing you what has been pre-marked as Exhibit A identification. Do you recognize this?
Yes, it's the thoracic x-ray I took while I was autopsying Jordan Davis's body.
Does this represent the actual X-ray you took?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like to take this time to put in evidence Exhibit A.
If you can just show the defense if they have any objections. So admitted.
Explain the bullet track of the chest.
Well, it went through the diaphragm, then through the liver, then through the diaphragm again into the right lung.
Did the bullet go anywhere else?
Yes, it went in between the spine and the heart where I cut the aorta, and it went to the left lung, which was its final resting place.
Based on your experience, what position was Jordan in when the fatal shot hit his chest?
Jordan was most likely leaning back away from his attacker.
So what would you say Jordan was doing when he got shot?
He was probably trying to get away from his attacker by leaning back and not instigating a fight.
No further questions.
Defense cross-examination.
Davis's body have bullet shots in both legs, correct?
Yeah.
Do you honestly believe that bullets could go perfectly through a car seat, and into someone's both two bullets in their legs while he's in the back seat sitting?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be logical to infer that Michael Dunn was sitting in his car seat shooting at an angle because Mr. Davis was starting to get out of the car?
Well, you see, the trajectory of the bullet does face going upward, which would make sense, but an SUV is higher than a Jetta, so he would be shooting at an angle to get a direct shot up close to the door.
If the boy is sitting down, like this,
Yeah.
do you believe that two bullets could go right here? Can bullets bounce from leg to leg?
Yes. They go through.
Can bullets, there were two bullets found. It didn't go through the side, it went on the top.
I'm aware. I examined his body.
Can the bullets bounce from one leg, like that, to
They
another
cannot
one?
bounce from one leg to one leg.
Well, those bullets, magic bullets?
There's no such thing as a magic bullet.
From where? Were they super bullets?
No.
Do they have the ability to move on their own?
They were just normal bullets shot out of a normal gun that Michael Dunn shot.
That's good.
Any redirect by the state?
No, Your Honor.
At this time, does the state rest their case?
The state rest.
Defense, would you put on a case for Michael Dunn? Would you call your first witness defense?
The defense would like to call Andy Williams.
Candace Ferguson. Will you raise your right hand? Do you swear the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may be seated.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
Apparently I'm Andy Williams.
Yes. Where were you on November 23rd?
I was at the Luke restaurant with my sister and my son.
What did you hear that night?
I heard multiple gunshots coming from the gas station in the plaza.
What did you do when you heard them?
I called 911 immediately.
What happened after that?
I saw a red SUV leaving the gas station. It drove about 100 yards away to the end of the shopping plaza.
Did you see anyone get out of the car?
I did. I saw the driver of the SUV get out and the passenger get out.
Do you know what they were doing?
Well, it looked like one was on his cell phone looking back at the gas station and maybe stashing something inside the car as he was talking on the phone, but I'm not sure what.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Your Honor, any further questions?
State cross-examination.
You saw the boys drive the SUV into the strip mall parking lot, correct?
Correct.
You saw them stash something, right?
Correct.
You saw them stash something inside the car, right?
I believe, yes.
They didn't run through the parking lot and throw something.
I don't believe so.
They weren't grabbing something and throwing it into the bushes, right?
I did not see that.
You didn't see anything being tossed out of the car, just as inside the car.
Correct.
They could have been stashing anything, correct?
Yeah, yes.
And you never saw them.
I did not.
Couldn't they have been looking for something?
Could they have been looking for something? To me, it looked like they were putting something into the car.
But they could have been going through the glove compartment and looking for something, right?
I guess that's possible.
Maybe even a blanket for Jordan Davison?
I would have no way of knowing that.
You don't know exactly what the boys were stashing, right?
I do not know what they were stashing.
You saw two of the boys exit the vehicle, right?
I did.
Those boys could have been going back there and trying to save Jordan Davis, correct?
Well, one was on the phone looking back at the gas station. The other was stashing something in the car. They did not look like they were going back to the gas station.
So they were stashing something inside the car, right?
Correct.
Inside the car, not
Correct.
outside the car.
Correct.
All right, those are the questions.
Any redirect from the state? Defense, call your next witness.
Your Honor, I called Kevin Thompson to the stand.
Mr. Thompson? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the evidence you're about to give, the testimony shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You may be seated.
Were you in the same car as Jordan Davis?
Yeah, he's my homie. We always go everywhere together. So yeah, I was driving the car.
Devin, are you upset by this incident?
First of all, it's Tave Holland, so that's what you should call me. And yeah, I'm upset. My best friend just died.
Do you want to be here?
No, I'd rather be at home or do something else. This is boring.
Your Honor, can I declare Kevin Thompson a hostile witness?
State, any objection? So declared hostile witness. Defense, you may leave the witness.
The music was blasting very loud, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could say that. He has an awesome stereo. We were listening to rappers like Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, Lil Wayne.
That's enough, Devin. Your friends threatened Michael Dunn, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. All they were doing was just saying mean stuff and hurtful stuff at him. But, you know, if you want to call that a threat, anyone can be themselves.
Did Michael ever threaten you or any of your friends?
No, you know, he was just in that, like, suit and stuff, and he was just, no, he didn't threaten us.
Did Michael Dunn pull up close to your car?
Yeah, he pulled up close enough so we can only get our feet out.
You went to the plaza after the shooting, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a nice plaza.
Did you take Kevin to a hospital after the shooting?
No, we just decided we'd stay at the plaza.
Did you try contacting the police?
No, we just sat down in the car at the plaza.
Did you ask anybody for help?
No, we were just chilling at the plaza.
So you just sat in the car?
Yeah,
Hopelessly?
at the plaza.
So you didn't contact a doctor, you didn't call the police, you didn't ask anyone for help. In fact, the only thing you did do was sit at the plaza, helplessly.
That is correct.
So, you're on probation, right?
Yeah, I'm on probation.
The law states that if you were caught with any physical weapon, that you're going straight to jail, right?
That's if I'm caught. But yeah.
Oh my god.
So if you had a gun, you could have dropped it off at the plaza, right?
I mean, if I wanted to.
Did Michael Dunn come off as a killer?
No, he just came off as, you know, the guy that has a lot of confidence. You can see it in his stature.
So he looked confident, right?
Yeah, he looked confident.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Cross-examination.
You were in the car with Jordan Davis, correct?
Yeah, as I said, you know, he's my homie. We go everywhere together.
And in your witness statement, you said that Tommy, the driver's SUV, had really dark tinted windows, correct?
Well, you know, they're dark and tinted, so I guess you could say that.
Did Michael's car pull up really close to the car you were in?
Yeah, so close we go and get our feet out.
Isn't it correct that in your statement you said that they were so close that you couldn't even open your door because how close they were?
I don't remember.
Did you hear Jordan yell anything at Michael?
You know, I guess he was trying to talk to him. I'm not sure about what, though, because I was jamming out.
And isn't it true that you heard Michael Dunn say, "I'm tired of people telling me what to do"?
As I said, I was jamming out, but I think I heard that. I'm not sure, though. I go crazy all the time.
Did you see Jordan Davis get out or attempt to get out of his car?
Jordan, yeah, he was getting out. I'm not sure where he was going, but we were at the gas station right next to the store, so he might have gotten some food.
Jordan Davis, the one who's not here with us today, he passed away.
Yeah, that one.
In your statement, do you recall saying that he did not get out of the car 100%?
No, as I said, you know, I go crazy, and I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Your Honor, no.
Any redirect by the state? Mr. Thompson, you have a seat. State, you can call your next witness.
The state would like to call Michael Dunn.
Mr. Dunn, please raise your right hand. Do you swear the evidence and testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your
You may be seated.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
Hello, I'm Michael Dunn, and my occupation, I'm a gun expert.
Where were you on November 23rd, 2012?
I was at a gas station.
Where were you coming from?
My son's wedding.
Why did you go to the gas station?
Well, we wanted to get some crackers and wine.
Whose idea was it?
It was my wife, Rhonda's idea.
Where did you pull up?
Well, we pulled up right next to this red SUV.
Why would you pull up so close to this red SUV?
At the time, I didn't know I was that close. It's just, I wanted the quickest way for Rhonda to get in.
What was the problem that you had with Red SUV?
The music was really loud.
How loud was the music?
Well, I couldn't hear anything.
What did you say?
Well, I asked them politely to turn the music down.
What did they do?
They turned it down.
Then what happened?
Well, after that, the one in the back said, "Turn that S up, F that cracker."
And
They turned it back up.
what did they do?
Well, they started to threaten me, like, I'm gonna effing kill you and stuff. I got really scared. I didn't know what to do.
What did you see Jordan Davis do?
He was the one who started to get out of the car, and I just got so scared. He started coming out the window because we were too close, and that's how he ended up shredding both of his legs.
How did you feel?
I was terrified. I was really scared. I don't know if I was ever going to get out of there. I was really scared.
What happened after that?
Well, after that, they kept threatening me, and I went to grab my gun.
How many shots did you fire?
Well, I only thought I shot one, but I guess at the time I was really nervous and I was shaking, and it turns out I shot 9.
Are you aware there's an audio recording?
No, I wasn't aware.
The audio recording heard 10 bullets.
My gun only holds 9 rounds.
So you're saying that you didn't shoot all 10 bullets?
Yes, earlier I did see them pull out something that looked like a barrel, and I am a gun expert, and I could have sworn it was a 10, 12 gauge shotgun. And he pulled it out saying, "I'm going to kill you," so I think they might have shot one at me.
Where did you go after the shooting?
Well, I went back to my hotel and ordered some pizza. I was really scared. I was thinking about Rhonda. I didn't know what to do.
And when did you find out that Jordan Davis died?
Well, I saw the I saw on the TV that he had died, and I went to the bathroom, and I was throwing up all night. I didn't know what to do. I was trying to calm Rhonda down. I didn't know what to do.
How did you feel?
I was terrified. I thought more gangsters were coming to get me. And when I looked out the window, every car seemed to be a red SUV. I didn't know what to do.
Why didn't you call the police?
I know, it sounds crazy, but I was going to go the next day and talk to my friend in my neighborhood and law enforcement and then contact my local sheriff.
Okay, thank you for your time. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
State cross-examination.
Mr. Dunn, you were trying to convince the jury that you fired 9 shots at a car full of teenagers because you were scared, correct?
Terrified.
And you said Jordan was attempting to get out of his car, correct?
Yes.
And do you recall having a recorded statement with Officer Musser?
Yes.
And in that statement, you said that you pulled in so close to the victim's car that you yourself could not get out of your own car, correct?
He came out the window. Is there anything wrong?
You're saying that Jordan Davis came out the window.
He came out the window. That's how I shot him. Not accidentally, but I fired into both of his legs. That's how it hit both of his legs.
Because he was climbing out the window of the car.
Yes, like, you know the window.
I know the
So
window.
you climb out of the window. It's like,
Yeah, moving on. Are you aware that Tevin Thompson is 100% sure that Jordan did not get out of the car, nor did he attempt to get out?
well, as he stated earlier, he's not 100% sure, and he was in the front seat. He couldn't see. And the music was too loud. He couldn't hear anything.
In that same recorded statement that we just talked about, you said that you didn't believe in keeping a live round in the chamber of your gun for the safety of your 2 daughters. That's true, right?
Yes, but I do sometimes.
But most of the time you don't because you want your daughters to be safe, right?
Well, I also keep it with me so my daughters can be safe.
But most of the time you don't keep a full round, right? You keep like 2 or 3 just in case something goes wrong, right?
Depends.
Because you care about the safety of your daughters, right?
Yes, I love my daughters.
But you didn't care about the safety of Mr. Davis's son, did you? You cared about him so you shot him and killed him?
No, I tried to scare them. It was life or death. He was going to kill me.
So you're saying that shooting a bullet anywhere near him is keeping him safe?
Well, it's not. I mean, I was trying to just let them go away. I didn't want them to hurt me. I was scared.
But would you agree that firing your gun does not make someone safer, right?
I don't know. I'm just like on a
incident, you didn't call 911, right?
No, I told you I was going to talk to my local sheriff and my friend on the office.
But for a basic answer, you did not call 911, right? And you left the scene right after, right? And you went back to your hotel, right?
Yeah, I was trying to calm Rhonda down.
But you did go back to your hotel.
Yes.
And you ordered a pizza, right?
Rhonda didn't eat
You ordered a pizza.
Rhonda didn't eat much at the wedding, so I was trying to calm her
Yes or
down.
no, you ordered a pizza.
Yes, I ordered a pizza.
And you walked your dog, right?
Well, my dog, Charlie, had to go have a potty break after the wedding, so.
So you went back and you walked your dog, right? Because that's why you left the wedding. Right, so you walked your dog. And then you spent the night at the hotel, right?
Well, I didn't really sleep, I was up all night.
But you, like, during the night you were at the hotel, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you left in the morning, right? To go back to your, residence?
No, I was arrested in the morning.
But you were going to leave, right?
Yes, I was going to talk to my friend in law.
And you claimed you were scared the whole time, right?
Terrified.
And wouldn't you agree that the safest place to be, if you were scared gangsters were going to get you, would be at the police station in a room full of cops?
Well, I didn't know. I was freaking out at the time. When you're scared, you don't know what to do. You just run and go to where you were last.
But would you agree that if you were really scared that gangsters were going to get you, you'd be really safe if you were in a room full of cops?
Yeah, I would, but I'm sorry, I'm not
And
the
you
smartest
never went
person.
to the police station, right?
Well, I was going to call my local sheriff.
But when you were scared, you never went to the police station, right?
That's what I said.
Your Honor, I missed that.
Mr. Redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Dunn, you may be seated. At this time, does the defense rest their case? Okay. Are you ready for closing arguments, State?
Yeah, we are.
Defense, you ready for closing argument? All right, State, you may proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have just heard the case of a bass booming speaker versus a 9-bullet gun collector's pistol. Every day, teenagers around the world play loud music, because that's what teenagers do. And every day, gun collectors shoot guns, because that's what gun collectors do. But not every day do they park next to each other at a gas station convenience store and declare war on one another. There is no question that Jordan Davis was playing loud music and unconcerned about what other people thought of it. But does this give Michael Dunn the right to knowingly take another man's life? Obviously, we all know the answer is no. Killing people for playing loud music is a crime. In the trial, you heard Michael Dunn say that the music was so loud he couldn't hear anything. He said that he couldn't hear anything, yet he claims he heard Jordan Davis threatening him? Michael Dunn, in his recorded statement with Officer Musser, stated he doesn't keep a live round in his gun for the safety of his daughters. Therefore, because he fired 9 rounds, Dunn had to take the time and consciously load his weapon, which is evidence that this crime was premeditated. Rather than moving his car to a different parking space to avoid the loud music, or rolling his windows up, or turning up his own music, or simply just tolerating the music for 3 minutes, Michael Dunn initiated a life-ending conflict. Not a single shot was fired from the SUV, and no pistol, no rifle, no weapon of any kind was found in that SUV. No witness at the gas station or the plaza has any recollection of seeing a gun in the SUV. This one-sided, unfair atrocity gave the gun collector the advantage of unloading 9 rounds without a single shot ever being fired back. Michael Dunn did not feel threatened and was not in fear of his life being taken. Proof is in the ridiculous events that followed this tragedy. Dunn did not call 911 or report the events to the police whatsoever. Instead, as guilt set in, he fled the scene of the murder, checked into his hotel, ordered a pizza, and walked his dog. It is hard to believe that Dunn's rampage of bullets into Jordan Davis's liver, lung, aorta, and spine wouldn't upset him enough to call the authorities. But rather, Michael Dunn decided to go to bed only to wake up the next morning and carry on with his life. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Davis are sentenced to life without a son. A huge part of them has been taken by murderer Michael Dunn. If you think that death is an unreasonable punishment for playing loud music in your car, then you should justly convict Michael Dunn of first-degree murder. Thank you.
Defense, closing argument.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can we just stop this for a second? We need to use common sense here. We need to use logic. We need to ask ourselves, why on earth would an educated man, a businessman, a man who had never been in trouble before, who had just come from his son's wedding, randomly have an urge to kill a group of teenage boys just because their music was too loud or because they're black? He has no motive. You want to know the reason he fired? He fired because his life was being threatened. He fired because he saw the barrel of a gun pointing at him. He didn't fire out of rage, nor racism. He fired out of fear. The evidence has shown Michael Dunn not guilty. Has this man ever been in trouble before? Again, no. Does this man have any motive at all? No. Yeah, he didn't call the cops immediately, but did Jordan's friends either? No. His daughters weren't with him at the time, so yeah, he has a right to keep a gun on him. He's a gun expert. If someone was going to kill you, what would you do? You would protect yourself and the people you love. He didn't come from a bad event, like an argument or a rough breakup. In fact, he was on his way to his hotel room after his son's wedding. He's just a regular businessman with no intention of hurting a fly. He would only ever hurt someone in desperate defense while protecting those he loves. If a gangster is death-threatening you, which one did, it's completely just to defend yourself. He had no intentions of hurting Jordan Davis. He was scared and in a blur, and everything happened out of fear. Mr. Dunn was very shocked and devastated when he found out that he accidentally took someone's life. He actually vomited all night from the thought of it. Mr. Dunn has testified that he only consciously shot one bullet to scare the gangsters off. He ended up unknowingly firing 9. But there's a flaw to this theory. There's an audio recording of 10 bullets being shot. But Mr. Dunn's gun only holds 9. Now that's food for thought. Mr. Dunn testified that he saw what looked like the barrel of a gun aim at him on the car's window. Now where did the other shot come from? The answer is obvious. Mr. Dunn had a gun and fired 1 shot before he passed. One of the other boys, this person testified, Mrs. Williams testified that one of the other boys in the car, after going to the edge of the plaza, went on his phone and made a call. But he didn't call the police. Not caring about his dying friend in the back seat, he went ahead and tried to cover their tracks. He must have called a friend to help them get rid of the evidence, their gun. They left the gas station for 15 minutes, then came back. But they had no gun anymore, because they dropped it off. There was no gun found because the teens got rid of the evidence. The scene was obviously not inspected closely enough. If it was, they would have found the dropped-off gun or inspected it not 4 days later, where it could have been already taken away. All the minor details of this happening are the only things that can stream out the truth. The truth that Michael Dunn is not guilty.
Thank you, defense. Members of the jury, this case has now come to conclusion. You've heard all the evidence and testimony you're going to hear. It is to that evidence you are to look alone to reach a verdict. A verdict form has been prepared for you, along with the 2 exhibits. When you discuss your verdict, try to keep that in mind of the evidence that was presented in the testimony, of what you heard in the witnesses from the witness stand. Try not to talk about what happens or anything you saw on TV or what you heard or what you thought might have occurred that did not testify in this courtroom. Before you reach a finding of guilty, Mr. Dunn has been charged with first-degree murder, and the state must prove beyond a reasonable doubt 3 elements for the premeditated murder of Jordan Davis. To prove the crime of first-degree premeditated murder, the state must prove the following 3 elements beyond a reasonable doubt. Element 1, that Jordan Davis is dead. Element 2, that the death was caused by the criminal act of Michael Dunn. And 3, there was a premeditated killing of Jordan Davis. Killing with premeditation is killing after consciously deciding to do so. The decision must be present in the mind at the time of the killing. The law does not fix the exact period of time that must pass between the formation of the premeditated intent to kill and the killing. The period of time must be long enough to allow reflection by the defendant. The premeditated intent to kill must be formed before the killing. at issue raised by the defense is also what we know as justifiable use of deadly force. In the state of Florida, it is excusable or justified to take a life or fire a weapon, and it is a defense to the offense of first-degree premeditated murder charged to Michael Dunn for the death of Jordan Davis, resulting from the justifiable use of deadly force. Deadly force means force likely to cause death or great bodily harm. The use of force is justifiable only if the defendant reasonably believes that the force is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself or another while resisting another's attempt to murder him, or any attempt to commit a forcible felony upon him, or any attempt to commit a forcible felony upon him in a dwelling, residence, or vehicle occupied by himself. At this time, the verdict form has been prepared for you. It must be unanimous. That means all of you must agree to the same verdict. And there's only two choices, either that Michael Dunn is guilty of premeditated murder, or that Michael Dunn is not guilty of premeditated murder. And then you'll have a foreperson who will sign it. When you reach your verdict, just sign it, close it, hand it back to our bailiff, and we'll publish it to the attorneys when you are done.
Where's that deliberation room?
Right here, you have to do it in public. Children only learn. So you just have your foreman and the exhibits are in evidence. Bring your verse out loud so I get that.
Should I hit pause?
Can you take your sister? I told you before they cannot render a verdict until we get that.
Dad, should I hit pause?
No, you can hit pause.
Your Honor.
Let me just make sure it's in lawful form.
You want to tender the verdict, Your Honor?
In the criminal court of the 15th Judicial Circuit in and for Palm Beach County, Florida, in the case of State of Florida versus Michael Dunn, verdict. As to the count of first-degree murder for the death of Jordan Davis, we, the jury, find the defendant, Michael Dunn, not guilty.
Yes! Let's go!
Come on, jury! Thank you, Mr. My daughter! My daughter!
What's up, Freddie, guys? Thank you for serving and helping.
Hey, we get donuts.
Listen. Of those of you who did not know or didn't follow the news, Michael Dunn was a real case, and my beloved brother was the defense attorney on the case. So he's thrilled for the not
Listen. The fact that there was 10 shots and his gun only held 9.
Yes,
In real life, there was 10 shots and my client was missing 10 bullets. So, you guys, good for you. When I heard that, my ears perked up. I'm like, I wish I had that.
So your parents have been notified not to come until 3:30. So I've asked my brother to stay, and he's graciously agreed. If you have questions about the trial, the case, you are welcome to raise them because my brother really did live in that courtroom.